Hey you guys, this is Rafael from Relics.com. I hope you're all doing well today. I'm thankful to be with you again today. Today we're going to talk about a gun that is one of the most unique designs of the Civil War. It's the Triplett and Scott Patton Carbine. Yep, you don't see that one very often, and once you see this video, you'll kind of know why. There was a company in Meriden, Connecticut called the Meriden Manufacturing Company. Hadn't heard of that one, have you probably? But one of the cats that founded that company, you heard a lot about later on. There was a guy named Charles Parker. And if you have been around guns very much, Charles Parker is a name that you always associate with shotguns. After this venture, he went in and formed the Parker Shotgun Company and made one of the best shotguns that people collect today and love. This gun, however, wasn't such a success. They are the Triplett and Scott patent, and that patent was granted December 6th, 1864. So didn't have a lot of time left to go into war, but on January 2nd, 1865, the Kentucky government said, we need 5,000 of these. Why would Kentucky need 5,000 of these guns? They were bought them so they could help protect the supply lines for General Sherman when he was in Georgia and later to go to North Carolina. The guns didn't make it in time for Civil War service, but people collect them as Civil War guns because they were patented during the time and they were intended. And with this one, it's kind of neat that you do know why they were ordering them and that they were going to serve a purpose. They went to the state of Kentucky, and we know that because on the side of the frame, you've got this mark, clearly marked Kentucky. On the back of the tang, and the tang, I mention that sometimes, and I don't know if I ever told you what it was. At the back of the barrel, the part that screws into the stock to keep the barrel in place is called a tang. And sometimes it will have markings on them. This one actually has the Triplett and Scott marking and as well as the patent date. They only made 5,000 of them. This one has matching serial numbers of 869. And they'll have it on the frame, as well as on the little door that I'm about to show you, on the inside of the little door. So this one is the long barrel version. They bought two versions of them. Don't know why with just 5,000 they didn't make them all the same way. Kentucky, you guys never make sense sometimes. Can't agree on anything. That's why you got two basketball teams, Louisville and Kentucky. If you agreed on stuff, we could just have one team. We could disagree with all of you. This one is the 30-inch barrel. 30-inch, they made 3,000 of. 22-inch barrel, they made 2,000 of. So the long barrel is a neat gun, but it's too long of a barrel for this gun. And it makes it an awkward feel when you hold a gun. These guns are different than anything else that you'll see because of the way that they load. They have a tube, and usually I try not to pick them up because you can't really see it and it's an awkward thing. This one you got to though. Underneath, we have a little door like this. In order to load this gun, you have to cock the hammer back. There's a little lever like this. See that little lever? You push that down and that releases the barrel. The barrel pivots. It will pivot around, all the way around, and it pushes the cover on the tube, the magazine tube, underneath. So it has a spring that loads that cartridge. That's a lot of maneuvering, especially if you're on horseback with somebody shooting at you. But it slides back over, it closes in, and this one, there's a little spring in there that ejects the cartridge. Sometimes that thing will stick, and this one needs to be oiled, and I got it, haha. I oiled it, and I thought I didn't put enough oil in there. But there's a little spring in there, and sometimes it will stick and keep it from closing all the way back. All you gotta do is oil that, and it goes away. Now, you're ready to fire. And it fires a 50 caliber rimfire cartridge. But in order to load that, you have to spin it all the way around. And one thing about these guns, where that tube is on the back like this, the wood is so thin that almost always it will have a crack in the stock where that tube goes. This one does not. The wood's solid. So that's a bonus for this gun. Oh, and while we're talking about bonuses and subtractions, they were originally made with 2 sling swivels. They put one on the bottom of the buttstock and they put one on top of the buttstock. I don't know why, because that would make your gun point towards the ground and drag. So I don't know why they thought that was a great idea. Most of the time, one or both of those sling swivels are missing. This one, the guy said, screw the one on top. He cut it off, and we've got the one on the bottom. Neat gun. They only made the 5,000 of them. This one still has a little bit of blue, has the original front sight, original rear sight, the action works. The stock is not cracked. Most of the time that stock has that crack in it, and that's expected on one of these. Some guns you just expect to have certain traits. With a Spencer, where the tube goes through the middle of the stock, you expect sometimes to see a little crack. This one is not cracked. Went to Kentucky to supply Sherman. Made 65, didn't quite make it into the war, but they're still collected. This gun is on ShilohRelics.com as of the time of this video. You can own it. You can have it hanging on your wall. I can ship it out to you to die, and we'll get it to you. If you notice, I have the new shirt in for the table. If you watch these videos, you've heard me talk about the table. And if you haven't before, the table is in Savannah, Tennessee. It's a wonderful restaurant, but it's a restaurant made to help people. There are a few options how you can get fed at the table. If you have money, you can go in and buy one of the best meals you'll have all day. If you do not have money, you can work for an hour and earn your lunch and help people while you're doing it. If you can't afford it and something is physically wrong with you, they'll feed you. They're good folks. They are wonderful people. And if you are fortunate enough to have extra money, you can buy somebody's lunch and you can pay it forward. I think the world of it, and this idea is a wonderful thing. And you might not ever make it to Savannah, Tennessee, but I bet you there's something similar in your area that you could help people with. So the reason I tell you about the table, I want you to think about other people. Go out, be that positive light. Help somebody that needs a meal. Help somebody that needs anything. We are so fortunate in this world to have things and good food and friends, and we need to have more of that. We need to be a positive light. So check it out. Look around your neighborhood. If there's not one and you've got the time, effort, and money, well, start you one. It's got to start somewhere. All positive things have to start somewhere. I am positive that I am thankful for you guys. I am positive that I appreciate you. I love my job. I love my family, and I'm thankful to get to be with you guys again today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember, be that positive light.